Alright. Hey, I hope you're well and you're doing better than I am. Oh, this is gonna be a tough one, so trigger warning, it's gonna handle some sad stuff like depression and dealing with loss. That out of the way. Recently my double R was stolen. So this is probably some of the last footage you'll ever see of this specific bike. I mean, I'm not gonna stop posting motorcycle content, so please stay subscribed if you want more of me. But if you want more of this bike, unfortunately, yeah, a little tough, because we'll probably get another K46 in the future, like another S1000RR, third generation. But until then, unfortunately, we've seen the last of this one. It is probably either disassembled and been sold off into parts, or somewhere on a boat headed to Brazil, as Reddit tells me. So this video is basically just going to be about how to deal with getting your bike stolen, how to probably prevent your bike from getting stolen, and just the mental tax that you have to pay when this happens to you, and how I got over it, and I hope to inspire you to also be okay with getting over it, So it's mainly there to help you out, plan for getting better, so to say, right? So first of all, go out on YouTube, and because I always think, like the moment I thought of this, it kind of frustrated me even more, is that I had comprehensive insurance, which you should always have. You should always cover your motorcycle fully, regardless, right? Cars, do what you want. Motorcycles are a different breed because you're just so much more accident prone, and you're so much more prone to get it just taken from you, or damaged, or vandalized, or whatever, right? Get comprehensive insurance, right? I had a $1,000 deductible on this bike. That being said, get whatever you're comfortable with in that category, right? Now, being that I had a grand deductible on this bike, $400 could have saved me, or at least I wanted to make myself believe this, or I was still coping with the bike being gone. It could have saved me from, having to look for a new bike, all this other stuff, because a tracker, a chain, and a disc lock. I mean, thieves are still going to defeat the disc lock, the chain, probably, Your steering damper, definitely, because that's what I had on when this was stolen. And thankfully they left my cover behind, so shout out thieves. I mean, you're assholes, but thanks for leaving that cover. It was a good one. I mean, those things alone together will probably prevent most theft attempts, period, right? I mean, if your alarm disc's going off and you have cameras facing the parking lot, I mean, chances are that they're not going to want to deal with that and just move on, right? If they still pick up your bike and put it on a truck and it has a tracker in it, the police now have a lead and their investigation can go on. Because that's what happened to me. Bike was untracked, unfortunately, beside, like, me knowing the VIN number. And the police were like, 2 weeks in, they were like, you know what? We don't have enough to go off here. It has been spotted around town, so you're probably shit out of luck. And I was like, okay, cool. Fair. So get insurance, get theft countermeasures. Here's how you deal with the bike getting stolen. In the first day, right, this is what happened. My partner walks in the morning, 7:30 in the morning, right? He's about to go out to class on his Scout Bobber. And he walks in and he goes, I don't know how to say this, but your bike's gone. And I just like rub my eyes and I'm like barely awake, like, what? What do you mean? So I instantly call the cops. I got a police report. Shout out to the local sheriff's department. They're great. They're really quick about it here in like 5 minutes, So I got that done. And then for the entire first week of the bike being gone, like, I couldn't really cope, I couldn't handle it. So here's my plug or my advertisement for the thing. I'm not sponsored by these people, so, take it with whatever grain of salt you want. But shout out to U.S. Army or U.S. VA vet centers. They're there for you if you need counseling service, if you're going through any traumatic loss or anything like that. There's some qualifications, but you should definitely go if you need someone to sit down and just talk to you and rap about stuff, right? So talked to my therapist. I was like, hey, is there anything I could do so I can sleep at night again? Because, when something gets taken off your apartment complex, like your car gets broken into or something, you immediately don't feel safe. And you can't sleep at night. Out of my perspective, right? I really had a hard time sleeping. And then I went down this like destructive path of thinking that, oh my god, because this bike gets stolen, every other bike I get and park at this apartment complex as long as I live is going to get stolen, right? Which is hopefully not the case. Knock on wood. But don't go down that spiral. It's going to be okay. If you have insurance and you did enough to prevent the theft of your bike, you're probably still going to have a bike. But even if it gets taken, you have full insurance. So they're going to pay you the cash value, plus any mods put on your insurance policy that your bike is modified if it is, right? They, shout out to my insurance company, and my adjuster. She did everything in her power to get me as much money for this bike as possible. So I didn't feel like I had a loss, right? I do still in my heart feel like I've lost something extremely special because, like I've said in previous videos, the Gen 2.5, Gen 3, K46 S1000R is, in my opinion, my dream bike and the best bike I've had, and the best bike I've ridden. It's just freaking incredible, right? I put ads on this bike all the time. Like, just get one if you want it. But it's okay. You'll find a replacement eventually, right? And here's how to do that, right? So after week 1 or week 2, while you're working with your insurance adjuster, start looking into new bikes, and don't look into bikes, like look into them with a fair perspective of, this motorcycle has features that my old one had that I would like to have, right? But don't think, you know, this bike's never going to be like my old one, you know, because that's catastrophizing again. So don't catastrophize over the fact you're never going to get the same bike, okay? There's just absolutely freaking zilch you can do about that. You're not going to get the same bike back unless the cops retrieve it, unless, you know, down the line, by some miracle, they find the bike and you get it back, or you can buy it off auction, right? Which is what happens when you get a total loss from your insurance company. If they find it down the road, you have a chance to buy it off auction, if you find it, right? So don't be unfair to other bikes and think you're not, you know, because you're just not going to get the same thing again, right? And then, you know, when you have pictures around, like my phone monitor, or my PC monitor, my phone screen, and all this other stuff were like pictures of my K46 because I loved it that much, right? It helps you getting over loss if you change those to something else, so you're not constantly staring at the thing you lost. And then slowly just tell yourself, it's going to be alright, I'm going to get another bike, I can continue riding. And that's really what it boils down to, is you're still there, you're still alive, you can continue in this wonderful pastime that we all enjoy of riding motorcycles, and nothing's really going to change beside the thing that you're riding around, right? Alright. Long story short, I did get another bike, so look forward to videos about that in the future, and here's a little teaser. And thanks for watching so much. I really appreciate it. See you guys.